girls, my name is Tally and welcome to the penultimate video in my month of self-love. I cannot believe how quickly this month has gone. I really hope you've enjoyed this video series. If you've been watching them, leave me a purple love heart in the comments so that I know. And if you haven't been watching them, don't worry, there's a full playlist at the top of my channel so you can catch up on all of the videos, and I will link it here as well for you if you're watching this later. Today we are talking about something that I deal with quite often. I've mentioned a couple of times in this series already, and that is negative self-talk and how to deal with it and stop treating yourself so rubbishly. You'd never talk to a friend like this. Why on earth do we talk to ourselves like this? And I've got 5 steps for you that can be used whenever your negative self-talk starts to spiral. So let's imagine that you've had a job interview and you got an email saying that you didn't get the job, which has happened to me quite a lot. If you're like me, your negative self-talk will start to spiral. You'll be telling yourself that you are rubbish, that you're a failure, that you didn't deserve that job, that you're never going to get hired. The first step to take to combating that negative self-talk is to notice that it's happening. There's a technique in mindful meditation called noting, which you can kind of apply to this situation. Noting is where you notice that a thought is happening, but you don't have any judgments about it. So you'd notice, oh, there's some negative self-talk, but you wouldn't say, oh, there's some negative self-talk, I'm doing that negative self-talk again, I'm rubbish for doing this negative self-talk, because as you can see, it spirals you even further, and that's not going to help anyone. You're also not trying to resist or repress the negative self-talk at the moment, because that will just make it come back even more. All you're doing is noticing there's some negative self-talk. The next step is to know that what we say or think isn't always true. We tell white lies all the time and our mind plays tricks on us. So this negative self-talk that you're doing, telling yourself that you're rubbish, is one of those lies. It's not true. And as soon as you can recognize that, it kind of takes some of the power and the emotion out of it. One style of negative self-talk that is very common is to generalize yourself and say that you are always like this. Rather than a negative self-talk saying, I failed at getting the job this time, your negative self-talk will probably say, I fail all the time, I'm always a failure and I'm never gonna get a job. These generalizations might feed off previous experiences that you've had and kind of generalize and snowball into thinking that it's always going to be this way and you're never going to change. Firstly, this is very unhelpful because we want to change, and if you don't believe that you can, then you won't. And also, you can't change the past, and we need to recognize that. Maybe this is your 5th rejection email. That absolutely sucks. There's nothing you can do about the previous 5, or even this one that you've just had. All that you can do is push on and work forward and go to the next interview and hope that you get this one. So you've noticed that you're doing negative self-talk, you've noticed that it's probably a lie, and you've noticed that you're generalizing from past experiences that you can't change. What do you do now? You can swap that negative self-talk and negative thoughts for gratitude. This might seem really hard in some situations, and sometimes there just isn't anything to be grateful for, and I'm not trying to take that away, but trying to identify a couple of things that you can be grateful for in a situation really does help. So you get your job rejection email and it absolutely sucks, but instead of saying, I'm rubbish, I'm never gonna get a job, say, I'm grateful that I've had this experience, that I've got my face out there, I'm grateful for the feedback that I got on my interview technique, and I'm grateful that I didn't get this job because it clearly wasn't the right one for me, and the right one will come soon. This is something to practice in your everyday life, not just when negative self-talk happens, because it's kind of a preventative measure rather than just combating when negative self-talk does happen. If you practice gratitude in your daily life, you will have negative self-talk less often. There is so much power in words. Saying something out loud or even to yourself makes it true. So if you say out loud or even say in your head, I'm always going to be a failure, then guess what? You're always going to be a failure. And chances are, if you very often talk to yourself in a negative way, then this is going to be a habit for you and it's going to be quite hard to break. The more often you do something or say something, the more practiced you are at doing it and the easier it comes to you. Negative self-talk will literally be your reaction to a lot of things, and that's quite hard to break. So to get out of practice, as well as using gratitude, you can use affirmations, which literally turn the negative self-talk on its head into positive self-talk. Affirmations are always in the present tense and they align with the ideal life that you want to create. So some examples might be, I am going to get my dream job. I'm capable, I'm confident, and worthy of employment. Side note, these are really helpful to use before interviews or exams or big tests or anything like that, because it gives you a real confidence boost and makes you believe in yourself. But they can also be used to combat negative self-talk, to get out of that habit and to bring yourself into a habit of positive self-talk. The more you do these affirmations and the more you practice them, the easier it will be to fall into that positive mindset rather than that negative self-talk pattern. I really hope you found these tips helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. This really helps other people to find my channel and my videos. And I will see you in my next one, which will be the final video in my month of self-love. I cannot believe it. I've already said this a million times, but I cannot believe how fast this month is going. I'm going to stop rambling now and I'll see you then. Bye.